All right, guys. So I just wanted to show you, welcome everybody. Nexus Agents, this is Pavel, designated broker. I just wanted to show you what to do when you actually get a listing. So I understand you're all trying to get a listing. However, you come to the listing appointments and sometimes you don't know what to do, what documents to fill out. So we're gonna go into the quick, we're gonna jump in quickly into the, I'm gonna share my screen right now with you so you'll be able to see what needs to be done. So what forms need to be filled out. Let's take a look. Let's go to the MLS forms right now. All right. So as you can see on this screen, you go to the MLS forms, and when you actually, let's say when a client agrees to hire you as a listing agent, there are two types of forms: Form 1A right here, all right, and Form 1B. So what's the difference between these two forms? One of the differences is that Form 1A is exclusive sale and listing agreement. What it means that when you list it on MLS and let's say a seller finds a buyer that they don't know and they just find the buyer and that buyer makes an offer, but then the seller still owes you the commission because you have exclusive listing agreement, which means you have exclusively listing the house and only you can do it. Form 1B is exclusive agency sale and listing agreement. What it means, let's say if it's a for sale by owner and they find a buyer that didn't come through your efforts in advertising. So what happens is then if Form 1B signed, then you don't own the commission. Seller doesn't owe you the commission. So 1B could be a good tool sometimes to pick up a for sale by owner, a seller, so you would be able to articulate clearly that, hey, I can totally understand you want to do it for sale by owner, and we're okay with this. And if we actually, if you find a buyer by yourself, you don't owe us anything. So just another marketing tool. So let's jump into the form itself, Form 1A, and see what it looks like. I'm going to open it right now. So it's exclusive sale and listing agreement. How do you fill it out? It's very straightforward, but sometimes new agents still make mistakes on it. All right. So you fill out seller's information, Bob Smith, and the wife, let's say Jane Smith. That's the seller's information goes here. Seller hereby grants to, and you put the name of the firm. It's Nexus Realty International. Official name of Nexus Realty. So make sure you put that from date hereof until midnight, and you put the listing term. Listing term, sometimes you could be 90 days, 6 months. Let's say you do 6 months, and today's March 2nd. We put September 2nd, 2018. So which means this listing agreement expires on that date on September 2nd, 2018. So from the date thereof until midnight of September 2nd, the exclusive right to sell the property, commonly known as, and you put the address of the property right here, 1234 Main Street, Seattle, County King, 98025. Okay, make sure to always attach Exhibit A. Exhibit A is a legal description of the property, which is provided to you by title company. Okay, so you make sure you actually you have a legal description obtained, legal description of the property. Okay, so the agency, seller authorizes firm to appoint, and you put your name. Your name, you are as the agent, Jack Doe, okay, or Jane Doe. So you're the agent, okay. You put your name right here because we, as the firm, appoint you to represent the seller in this transaction, okay. Then you put the list date. List date. Let's say. The firm shall submit this listing, including the property information of the attached pages and photographs, to the multiple listing services by 5 p.m. on a date. Let's say today's the 2nd of March. We have to put it not more than 30 days from the effective date of agreement. Okay, so what it means, you can put it, let's say, April 1st, 2018. That's your list date. It's less than 30 days, so you're okay. You can put any date, but it cannot be more than 30 days out. This is the most important one. This is where most agents make mistakes. Commission. Let's say you negotiate the commission of 6%, which is standard in the industry, and you negotiate 3% to your side and 3% to the selling office commission. Selling office is the buyer's agent. I see a lot of agents make a mistake and they put 3 and 3. This is incorrect, because if you put 3 and 3, guess what your commission is going to be? It's going to be 0, because if you read carefully this paragraph, it says if during the list term of seller during the listing term, seller sells the property and the buyer does not terminate this agreement prior to closing, after reasonable exposure of the property to the market, firm procures a buyer who's ready, willing, and able to purchase the property on the terms of this in this agreement. Seller will pay firm a commission of, and you have to put total commission. Total commission is 6%, even though you have negotiated 3 and 3. What it means, and this is the most important thing, because it says right here, total commission, 6%. From total commission, firm will offer a cooperating member of MLS representing a buyer, selling firm, a commission of 3%. That's the proper way to fill out this agreement, okay? Or let's say you don't want to stick to the percentage, but you want to stick to the dollar amount, and total commission becomes, let's say, $10,000, out of which $5,000 is offered to the buyer's agent, okay? Only this is the way it's supposed to be done, okay? So we've covered that. So make sure that the undersigned is the sole owner, means they own the property, okay? They have to sign the agreement. The firm, you as the broker can actually sign this on behalf of the firm, because once you hang your license with us, you can do it, and you put the firm name here, Nexus Realty, and your signature and date, okay? This is pretty much what you guys need to know about listing agreements so far, okay? I actually also advise you to read it fairly, to read it fully and to understand what it is, One of the important things is sometimes, the property, firm's right to market the property. Seller shall not commit any act which materially impairs firm ability to market and sell the property under the terms of this agreement, which means they cannot, like, let's say, not let people in. They cannot just make it unpresentable. They cannot just basically hinder us from ability to sell it, okay? So this is something to keep in mind. Also, let's see, very important thing, if let's say you sign a listing agreement, okay, and the seller decides to cancel it, you can cancel listing agreement, okay? However, make sure you point it out to your sellers. If the seller canceled this agreement without legal cause, seller may be liable for damages incurred by the firm as a result of such cancellation. What does it mean? It means that actually, if you put your money in photography, staging, or any of the above, seller may be actually liable to pay it to the firm. So make sure they know about it, okay? Also, we actually stating that we're going to be placing the key box, all right? And another thing is, seller warns that the seller has the right to sell the property under terms, and they have to provide us with the correct information about the property, okay? Another form that you guys need to know is when you take in the listing, it's called residential listing input sheets. They are required by Northwest Multiple Listing Services, and we have to fill them out. Let's open it up very quick so you'll have an idea. So we fill it out, which county the property located, which city, zip code, community, address. So all this information must be filled out. SOC, that's selling office commission. Remember, selling office is the buyer's agent. you're not a selling office, you're a listing office. Make sure you indicate that their commission is, let's say, 3% or 2.5% or whatever you guys negotiate with the seller, okay? So make sure this listing input sheet is filled out correctly as much as possible, because we need it, okay? Another thing is needed is that seller signs Form 17. It's called seller disclosure on improved property. Let's say it's a house you took in. You need to make sure that the seller fills it out. Remember that as the real estate agent, you cannot fill it out. It must be filled out by the seller only, person selling the property. They have to answer the questions. Form 17 is actually exempt from, if you remember from your real estate course, Form 17 is exempt from estate sales. If, let's say, it's somebody died. It's also exempt from bank-owned properties because the bank didn't live in it. So it's exempt, all right? So make sure you know about it, and make sure that when the seller, if it's a regular sale, fills it out correctly. It's a lot of questions. It's 6 pages of questions, but that they have to, as a seller, must fill it out by hand. We are not allowed to even fill it out for them. Make sure it's done only by the seller. Just wanted to let you know. So I hope this is very clear for you. And also another thing, make sure that when you meet with a potential seller, you hand them this Law of Real Estate Agency pamphlet. We're required as the licensees to actually hand it over to our clients by law. Make sure they initial it and give you a copy so we have it in our file that it's been handed over to them, because it's a requirement by law that we actually hand it over. Remember, so we have Form 17, we have Law of Real Estate Agency, we have Form 1A, and we have Form 1A right here, or 1B, and we have listing input sheets that needs to be included in the listing. So this is how you actually take the listing. Once it's done, then we go to the next component of how to put listing input the listings, which will add another video from Northwest Multiple Listing Services, which will explain to you how to get it done. Next component, next module we will have is going to be on how to input the how to fill out an offer. Okay, so for now, this is what we have, and please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. And I'm going to stop the share of the screen, and make sure to sign up to our Nexus Academy at mynexusacademy.com, so you'll be able to watch those videos at your leisure. All right, thank you.